this is a redo of part 2, Speaking Enochian. I'm redoing it because of the audio. Audio was too low, and I've added a couple of things to this one. So thanks for checking out the video, and let's go. Okay, so this time, and for part 2, we'll do a few words, and then just kind of go over the individual characters, letters. It's available online. You can type in Enochian pronunciation, and you can see. But now there's a few there's differing opinion on a couple of things. One, there's the 22 character group, and then there's the original authentic 21 character group. I'm a 21 character Enochian alphabet kind of writer and researcher and occultist. The 22, it's the addition of a W or a Y. I don't include the Y or the W at all. I have 21 characters, and the clips that I have spliced in here, they show the basic pronunciation. I just excluded the Y because it came up, but for the most part, the letters are pronounced generally the same. And there's a combination of letters, PH, as like an F sound, like phase, or philosophy. I have found that typically is allowed. It's typically what it's supposed to be. In Enochian, it's possible that you could get no, there would be either a hyphen or a there would be a hyphen. Yeah, if there was a P and an H, but they needed to be separate. The phonetics, the sounding, speaking of them, then a hyphen would appear. Then you would just make the sound of P, P, and then H, or ha, or whatever. Yeah, the hyphen, yeah, that would be very, very rare, very rare. I mean, it's possible, but it'd be quite rare. Okay, we're starting off with the first piece here. This is the words for angels, and the watchtowers, watchtower angels. And so the singular, you have IVOTI, Evotia. Now you can say it Evotia. You can say it Evotia. It's a little bit more technical, in the pronunciation on the second one, Evotia. Okay, like in the plural form, ILOHIM, Elohime, or you could Elohime. You want to match the I's, first one and the one before the M. Elohime. Evotia. And then the G, it's a hard G. And now on this one with the R before the G, it's going to be a Gayar Gorie. Okay. Now, then we have, what's our next piece here? Okay, we have the numbers. Okay. Now, this is another point of contention. This is one. Okay, so the absent character phonetic, which I talked about in the first video, but I'll bring it up. It's kind of odd. It's a phonetic sound. It's added to the end of most common Enochian words, and it has to do with spacing. And I'll splice in a little bit of a clip that just shows an image. It's in one of the books, one of my books, but counting numbers like this. Not if you're saying the number 40, 5, or 51, unless it's the number, if you're counting. So but there's no absent character phonetic added here, or to personal names. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got Sini Re, Ace V T He A E Ain Pao. 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 So Sini Re, Ace V T He A E Ain Pao. So that's county 1 through 10. Next clip we're going to go on to. Skip ahead. Okay, we got a pretty good little list here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces to go here. Okay. Starting at the top, you see the ADO. That's the word for king, and it's pronounced Adoe, Adoe, and then kingdom, Adohie. Adoe, Adohie, Adoe, Adohie, and then kingdoms plural has the V, Adohive, 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 Adoe, Adohie, Adohive. I messed it up. Adohive. Now we have like a title, phrase down here. We have the word for harvest, and then king, and then the generic of. There's two forms of in Enochian, a divine and a mundane. And then we have the word for princes, and this is pronounced Gebafale, Adoe de Kevize. Gebafale, Adoe de Kevize. Let's follow on down with the word Gahe. Gahe is a plural of spirit, and this is a reference to the Hovine, the Lesigrue, and the Munade elder. There's a lot, it's like specific spirits of the hierarchy of the emanations of the perpetual creation. So basically, these aren't spirits that you would, summon. This is not how this works. You can move energy, as far as through attention and awareness. You can have energetic exchange. But for limited, let's say limited use, limited reasons. Okay, these aren't like the spirits that just haunt a property or talk through the weeds. None of that. That's not this. Because the word spirit or spirits in the angelic language is there's more going on. So with this the archetypal semi-sentient elder, they're called Toloke Gahe, elder spirits. We're specifically speaking one of the elder spirits. There are other formulations of semi-sentient energetic structures that are referred to in the angelic language as spirits, but it's not what most people would regard as spirits. They wouldn't even use that word. They would use some kind of like creation over manager entity thing that operates and throughput energy and emanations. They have these have specific, Gahe have specific positions, dominion, and purpose. And, they don't take on forms. They process, for the most part, the ones that make up, they fall into this category, they would process or affect the emanations that go on to create the Genesis perpetually. Now, here, the next one you have Orzoj. It's Orzoj, 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 form of energy, entity. Orzoj, Orzoj. A person could get away with the Orzoj, Orzoj. I put a little bit more of the emphasis on the R, Orzoj. And these negative, positive energy entities, this is what's Attaches to people, attaches to properties. This is the example in the Bible: deaf and dumb spirit. These things they cause, you know, loss of focus and loss of hearing, different kinds. The negative energy entity is specifically Citalave, Citalave, and the positive energy entity is the Silazave, Silazave. Now down here we have the word for spirit, Osize, Osize. Now this is the greater, present everywhere, correspond with through the tarot and access through the weed. Just different. You know, this is the like the overarching spirit, like the Native Americans refer to Great Spirit. This would be Great Spirit. And then that word again with Osize Balte. Osize Balte, spirit of justice. It's kind of a crude definition. It's justice, justification, and divine essence, reflecting that of the supernal order. So this is, it's kind of related to consequences for people's decisions and actions and things. But the presence of spirit, the aware and taking action in a sense, I'm hesitant to use the word karma and so on, but it's all tied together. So that is the first list. I'm going to the next one. Okay, so we have a list here of 7 pieces. Starting at the top, I'm going to go through these pretty quick. Starting at the top, we've got the word the, VU. It's used as often as in the English language, in our version. And then here you have D-O-N-E, Done, and it has the hypercritical mark, but there's no added. Absent character phonetic is defaulted. It ends with the character that possesses the same, phonetic sounding as the absent character phonetic. So it's just Done, E-L parte. And this is the first flame, the formulation for sentience. Prime, I got prime formulation for sentience there. That's actually another name, 3 letters. But formulation for sentience, the predominant, the presiding dweller, alpha. So Vue, Done, Il parte. Vue, Done, Il parte. Then the next one you have is Zivitol, Zivitol, Zivitol. The Vue, Done, Il parte. The first flame, it is a name. It is a name. But it doesn't qualify for the dropping the absent character. It says Vue, Done, Il parte. I mean, but now Zivitol. This gets into space because the first flame is a category. It's a category name. Creator down here below it. This is starting to get a little bit more purpose oriented. But then you have below that the prime formulation for sentience. The Vue, Done, Il parte. It should read. It should say, alpha formulation sentience. And Zotus Spezi is the prime formulation for sentience. There's another word, another name that it's essentially the same thing. One name let's say, speaks more to character, um, peccadillos and energetic fascinations or whatever. These specific, more character attributes that are almost um, mm, you know, human, not comparable to human, but there's might be some parallels that could be drawn. Zotus Vizi. Zotus Vizi. The other one, the one that's more, it means essentially the same thing as this, but it's considered. I know it's considered a more important or more. It's more even though these are all names of the same thing. Um, on the other one, I haven't got it on this list here. It's just the letter O-N-E. One. One. Which spells one, which is kind of ironic that in our language that is it's these things happen. And in Enochian, the word for avatar is spelled the same. Avatare. Avatare. So next we have El. El, first of first. Then here you have God of Justice, Order of Orders. And it has the absent character. Iade. Iade. And then Zamran, thus you power life. And Zon Tisave, the beginning. Zon Tisave. Zon Tisave, the beginning. The beginning. Zon Tisave. I have to look at my notes. Let's see. Let's see. Zon Tisave. Zon Tisave. Zon Tisave. It has the absent character. So just to be clear, Iade and Vuedone Iloparte, they get the absent character phonetic sound, and the others do not. It has to do. This is when you get into the complexities of the language. It has to do with what they specifically are the attributes, what makes, like, I could be called by my name, or I could be called dude, or I could be called that dude that lives on the hill, or it could be that younger feller up on the hill. In a way, those are kind of like those are identifiers. But those aren't names. Now, you start using my last name, my family name, Mister So and So, or you use or a nickname I've had since elementary school that everybody knows. Now these are very personal. These are more personal than dude up on the hill. The guy that drives that truck. Oh, the electric man works for the electric company. Oh yeah. I know that guy. Well, they identify me, but they're not personal. And as far as the distinction here with divine uh, alpha dweller creator, the distinction has to do with it in a similar theme or vein as that kind of construct there. Now we're going on to the next list. Okay, this is going to be the final piece. I want to end the video after this and follow up with the next one. It'll continue on, and that's where I'll be redoing the evocations. I've decided to just leave part 2 up. So if you watch this far, then essentially it's like part 2.5 or something, and the next one will be 3. This is in the previous video. So if you've already watched it, you don't have to watch it. This is a consecration for divination, and really not focused on the inculcation itself, what it does. I got into that in the previous video. I'm just going to go over real quick. the timing, the cadence, and the pronunciation. So you started off with the E, P, so it's going to be A, and then its absent character phonetic is at that hypercritical mark. So it's going to be ape, apepuvue. Next word is ruzoe. And then the next word is compounded. It's going to be voerotue. And then the next compound word, zue orcie. I always tend to put more emphasis on the R in this situation. So it's just orcie. It's O. And you could go from O to or. You could do that. That's kind of where I aim for. Orcie. Zue orcie. But, and it is important. The enunciation is important. But, it's the sequence is what's very important. And these are those compounded words. These are compounded words that aren't just comprised of two stems, like the E and the P, and then the next compound stem, the P and U, V, U. No, there's this puvue. This in itself has a definition that is related to a specific, like kids go to school. Okay, well, you don't say that in one, you do here in one piece. Kids go to school. So it's a complex concept. It's more, it's not like saying cat or dog. It'd be like dog is barking again. That's what that. So it contains the meaning of a very specific and more nuanced meaning. And then ape, this is a stem derived from the two common a small phrase, like to go, or to stay. Okay. Then with it's combined. That meaning is with another word, and it only works when it's in combination with the other stem. If it was any other stem, it would it could totally change the outcome of the finished version of the compounded Enochian word. Epepuvue, ruzoe, voe, rotue, zue, orcie. And the more you do it, the more you use it, the better you get at it. Okay. Alrighty. If you've watched this far, checked out the video, or checked out any of the other videos, thank you. Gratitude. And namaste. I'm going to end the video here and follow on shortly with the next portion.